Number 4, find the exact value of each trigonometric function. So here I'm looking at this triangle, and I have 7 on the y and 21 for the h, but I have one problem, and that's that this theta here is supposed to be on the x-axis, it's on the y-axis. So I need to rotate my shape. Now, as it turns out, the way I have copied this, I can't just turn this picture, so I'm just going to draw another one. And so I have this other triangle that looks very similar, and I'm going to rotate it. And so now I can relabel after rotating. This is my theta, this is my 7, this is my right angle, and my hypotenuse is 21. So we're supposed to find each of the trig functions. So we have a saying psi y, cos x, tangent is y over x. And so I'm going to write these out. So we have them here. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. And cotangent is the reciprocal of cotangent, so it'd be x over y. Okay, here's our values. Now, right now, I don't have the y. So to solve for it, I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem. That's that x squared plus y squared equals our hypotenuse squared. So in this case, 7 squared plus y squared will equal 21 squared. Now 7 squared is 49 plus y squared. And I can come over here, and we'll find out that 21 squared is 441. And so I'll subtract 49 here to get y by itself, or the y squared by itself, rather. So I'll subtract 49. And we get 392. And now to get rid of a square root, or to get rid of a square, you do a square root. And technically, I need to do a plus or minus. This doesn't have anything to do with positive or negative, so I'm just going to assume it to be positive. Here, let's see, square root of 392. Press enter. That's not a good number. I don't want to go decimal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify it. So a technique, when I don't know numbers that necessarily go into 392 very well, but you can do what's called upside down division. That's where you take your 392 and you try to divide by a very small number other than 1, so I start with 2. 2 can go into 392, 196 times, I believe. Yep, 196. And so I'll bring down the 196 here. And now I'm going to see if 2 can go into it. If it can, then 2 is a factor that can be pulled out of the square root. 2 can't go into 196. It goes in 98 times. And 2 can also go into 98 49 times. And 49 has a square root of 7. 7 goes into 49 7 times. Now, if you have a pair, those come out. So here's a pair of 2's. Here's a pair of 7's. So those would come out. And that means I have 2 times 7 times the square root of the leftover number 2. So y equals 14 square roots of 2. That's its value there. So to find sine, it's going to be y, which is 14 square roots of 2, over my h of 21. Now 14 and 21 could actually reduce. 7 goes into both numbers. 7 goes in here twice. It'd be 2 square roots of 2 over 3. That's the sine value. Now I'll go to cosine. Cosine is going to be 7 over 21, which will reduce and become 1/3. And then we go on to the tangent, which is y, 14 square roots of 2, over my x, which is 7. 7 goes into 14 twice, so this is the same thing as 2 square roots of 2. And now we find the reciprocals of each one. So h is 21 over 14 square roots of 2, which we already simplified. I should take this one here to simplify. This would be 3 over 2 square roots of 2. And to not leave a square root of 2 on the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. Oops, square root of 2, not square root of 3. What this does is it leaves me with 3 square roots of 2 over 4. Because square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. And you multiply times this 2 and you get 4. So that's this answer here. I made that where it's hard to see. Let's go there. And then secant, I'm going to take the square root, or the reciprocal of this, which is 3 over 1, which simply equals 3. That was the reciprocal of sine. And then finally, cotangent. That's going to be the reciprocal of tangent. So it's kind of like 1 over 2 square root of 2. And again, to get rid of that square root of 2, you multiply top and bottom by square root of 2. And this leaves us 1 times square root of 2 is the square root of 2 over square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4, which is 2. You multiply times this 2, you get 4. That's this one's answer. Here's each in simplified radical form.